Good morning. Thank you for joining us at Pastor's Corner. Thank you for supporting us, being with us. I hope that you had a blessed week this past week. Life's always throwing things all over everybody's lives, but a part of what we do is balance and navigate. And of course, look for the Lord to guide us, lead us, direct us. I don't know about you, but for me, I can't do it without Him. I need the Lord. I need Him, not just on Sundays. I need Him 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I thank Him for His faithfulness, His consistency. When man is unfaithful, when man is inconsistent, when man is temperamental, the Lord is always faithful and consistent. We're going to be going into Psalm 119. It's a long psalm, but we're not going to read it all. Just for a point of reference, it's a long psalm, Psalm 119. And we're going to do two verses out of there, verses 133 and 134. And it's like a form of a prayer and speaking to the Lord. It says, order my steps in thy word. Order thy steps in thy word. And let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Both of those are very in-depth. Order my steps and don't let any iniquity have dominion over me. And verse 34, deliver me from the oppression of man. Deliver me from the oppression of man. So will I will keep thy precepts. Just two short verses, but very, very deep, very profound. Order my steps in thy word. Don't let any iniquity have dominion over me. Deliver me from the oppression of man, and I will keep thy precepts. Deep, profound, beautiful. But what I would like us to do individually is step back as we see these scriptures here and take a look at our own lives. Me look at my life, you look at your life, and be able to take inventory, to interpret, to take a picture of your life in the sense of how much of our lives can reflect these two scriptures, ordering our steps in His Word, getting away from the iniquity to have dominion over us, deliver us from the oppression of man, and we will keep His precepts. We will keep His precepts. But part of keeping His precepts, His principles, the Lord's, the scriptures, the word, the guidance, the counsel, the direction, helps us to have these things, to have order, to not allow iniquity to have dominion over us, to be able to stay out of the claws of man having oppression on us, which that may be as challenging as anything. What I mean anything, all the things we go down that man has the ability to stick their claws into us or plug a connection into us if we're not wise and careful, and they call them vampires, they begin to suck life out of us. Something we don't want. We don't want man to oppress us. I know a lot of people think of the devil, and yes, the devil can oppress, or demons or demonic powers. But man can oppress us. Man can put us in a place of bondage, a place of where we don't have our peace, we don't have our liberty, we don't have our ability to fly the way God has designed us to fly. That's why we always have to be wise and look at what we're doing, our steps, every day, every day. Order my steps, order my steps. And just understanding that word order, to understand it, to understand the word order. Do we have order? Do we look for order? Do we do things in our life that is going to bring order to our lives? Or do we do the opposite? We bring disorder to our own lives. Do we bring disorder to our own lives? Do we bring chaos, friction, confrontations? Just give something simple, something simple. You get out of your automobile, an individual, whoever, gets out of their automobile, and they may have a phone, keys, maybe some bag, a backpack, a female or purse, something. So you have these things in your hands. You walk into your home, and you enter and you're not conscious of what you may do, and you end up maybe putting your keys, or the person puts their keys into some type of holding thing that is not designed for keys. And then the bag gets thrown into a pile, the phone, not sure, and then go on and do other things. Then all of a sudden, maybe it's hours later or the next day, it's like, I can't find my keys. Where are my keys? Looking all over for the keys, looking all over. Going to the car, back to the car, retracing steps, checking all these different areas, keys, phone, bag. And maybe that takes 15 minutes, maybe it takes 20 minutes, maybe it even takes an hour. Where if there was a process entering into the home, it's okay, I'm gonna put my keys in this location. For us, we have a bowl, and the bowl holds all the keys. And when you come in a certain area, so it's full of keys, and anyone that's looking for keys for a certain vehicle, they know that that's where they should be. If they're not, then the first thinking is that automobile's gone, or whoever drove it last didn't put the keys there. So it's part of order. Walking through the door, and that goes for me too. I have my keys, and I say, okay, walk through, put your keys in that, or key fob in the bowl. Done. It's over. Finished. And then whatever else I'm carrying, I put it where that may be. My phone, my tablet. And for myself, I try and go through what I'm going to do and eventually take it all into my bedroom, not the keys, but everything else. I turn my phones off normally before I turn them off before I go into my bedroom. I usually want them off when I enter my bedroom. And I have a place that I put it. And my tablet, it's, I'll silence it just so it doesn't give me any notifications. It normally doesn't, but because the sound doesn't do that on there for notifications, but I don't want to chance it. So I'll turn the volume down just a second, place that so it doesn't give me I don't want any notifications. So that the next day I enter in, I'm talking about me now, like I have an order, I have steps and individuals that may not have any. And you could see this with some people. it's a constant thing. It's constant that they can't find their keys, they can't find their phone. All the lights are on the dashboard of their car, or not all of them, but other, like check engine light. Hopefully it's not a red light that means the engine can blow. All these different things that just a mess. Maybe driving on a spare tire, they call them a donut. They got a donut on there. And the tire sensor lights on the dash also. For myself, I want my sensors on my tires to be right, because sometimes the batteries go out and they got batteries in them. And recently I actually had to replace all 4 of my sensors on my tires because the batteries were low. One went out first, but then when that went out, it was like, okay, we got to get all 4 of these changed, calibrated, so I know in my mind, and I can look on my dash and see my pressure on my tires. And if they're off, and then I got to check, okay, what is this? All these things that, to me, it's order for me. It's peace. It gives me peace. It brings me peace. What do I mean is that I'm not thinking, okay, my tires are bad. Are they safe? All those things. But some people, they just don't have any order, any structure in their lives. And these are the lower things. These aren't the bigger things that I'm addressing. Where it turns into that lack of order turns into chaos amongst relationships, turns into chaos in gatherings. It turns into chaos at work, turns into chaos at different events. And you could see some people, you just know that when there is no chaos, you're thinking, okay, when is it going to break? When are they? And because normally they can't sustain it. They can't sustain order. They can't sustain peace. They just can, boom, blow it up. Blow up a room, blow up a relationship, blow up a project, and look and say, how do you do that? Or why would you want to do that? Or why would you want to live like that? As compared to these scriptures here, that we look and say, order my steps. Order my steps, Lord. Don't allow iniquity to have dominion over me. And what comes to my mind with that one is addictions. That addictions have dominion over, which some people think that they're free because they can go and do those things. In reality, they can't, because the addiction owns them. They're owned by the addiction. And I've had people want to say that you're allowed to do this and allowed to do that and allowed to say, okay, I'm not going to argue what you're allowed and not allowed to do, but I'll say this: can you stop doing it? Can you stop doing it for a window of time? Because if you can't, obviously, then it's more than just freedom. It's something else. It has ownership. It has, again, like the vampire sucking things out of somebody's lives, where that addiction, that vice is robbing the individual. But it doesn't just rob the individual, it robs the people around the individual, the people in that person's life. How you could see somebody with lots of ability, lots of talent, lots to offer, but the addiction has them, it owns them. They can't stay focused. They can't make it to work each day that is required for that week. And maybe they do make it, but they're late, or they leave early, or they show up late and leave early, both, and don't finish their tasks. It's not order. It's not structure. It's being under the dominion of something else. And that dominion in the name of freedom isn't really freedom. It's bondage. Now, I'm going to make this next statement, and hopefully that it can translate. I say hopefully it can translate. But just like I used the illustration of our car keys. The more we take care of things in the preliminary parts of our life, the more we do preventative maintenance in life, the more that is going to benefit us after. I'm trying to think of the saying, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. So a small amount of prevention is worth more than a great amount of cure, so that we can avoid cure. I'm going to give you another one that is an original thought from me. That one is not. This one is. I would rather be blessed than have a miracle. And I know some people right now go, you're wrong. Well, here's what I mean by that, because I've experienced many miracles in my life. But the blessing above the miracle is the blessing to not need a miracle. So you say, you have a terminal disease and they give you X amount of months to live, and God performs a miracle and heals you and you live. Yes, thank the Lord. But how about the blessing to not get that terminal disease and have the blessing of not needing a miracle? How about this one? Every month needing a miracle to pay our bills. We need a miracle to pay our bills monthly. How about being blessed to the point we don't need a miracle for our bills to be paid? Do you see what I mean by a blessing? To be blessed can be greater than a miracle. So for myself, I have experienced miracles, but in those processes of those miracles was great challenges, great pressure on my life. But yes, I'm not saying I want to take those away, no. But how about today? Father God, bless me, Lord. Bless my life, bless my family, bless these people with us today online here. Bless this property, this sanctuary, the people that will be entering in shortly. Bless them, Lord. Bless them. But maybe somebody comes in needing a miracle, that we can pray for that miracle. But maybe you don't need a miracle, you just have the blessings to not need a miracle. So that's how I look at it. Bless me, Lord. Order my steps, because my steps being ordered is a blessing. My steps being ordered is a blessing. The blessing to not need a miracle. In what area? I use the body and terminal disease. How about a relationship? How about a marriage? How about a child? Adult children? How about the oppression spiritually that can happen to people's lives? They get attacked spiritually. Or the oppression of a man or men that are pressing on one's life, and we need a miracle for them to be exited, those men to be cut off. Say, Lord, give me a miracle. Deliver me from this mess. Deliver me from the chaos. Deliver me from the destruction. Deliver me from the dominion of it. For me, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Don't chase happiness. Don't chase happiness. Seek peace. Seek peace. Because without peace, we can't be happy anyways. If there is no peace, there's no happiness. We need to have peace. And just let happiness follow. But how do we have peace? By doing these steps. Order my steps in the Lord. Order my steps. Father God, order my steps, Lord. Don't allow the iniquity to have dominion over me, Lord. Deliver me from the oppression of men, and I will keep thy precepts. The precepts and the principles. I hope you like precepts and principles, because precepts and principles are not your enemy. Precepts and principles are your friend. What do I mean they're your friend? They work to your benefit if you allow them to come in properly. Properly, meaning we don't worship precepts, we don't worship principles, we don't worship these things. They're just part of, I say math, 2 + 2 is 4. But the more we understand them, the more we can apply them and make them be effective in our lives. So precepts, principles, understanding, gravity. And what that does, we set ourselves up. We set ourselves up to have peace. I encourage you today to take more steps forward of allowing order in your life. Allowing order in your life. More steps. I'm not telling you to throw everything out and start from scratch. That could be some people. But Lord, let me have a little bit more order today than I did yesterday. Let me have a little bit more structure today than I did yesterday. I can think back to being a young boy. And I remember that I preferred my bedroom to be a certain way. I preferred my bed, my blankets, my pillows, my clothes. As a young boy, nobody told me this, but it was important to me that my clothes matched. I remember getting ready for one school year, and I asked my mom if we used to wear these Levi corduroys. I don't know if they still make them, but that goes way back to my childhood, and they came in different colors. I know everyone wears jeans now, but there was Levi corduroys, and I had different colors of them, of the Levi corduroys. And I remember asking my mom to buy the matching jacket for each one, like a thin jacket that you would see, like a jean jacket denim would match the denim, but the corduroy, like I had a blue, so I had a blue one. I had a yellow one. As a young boy, and I remember I had these, and nobody told me to do that. And it wasn't the style. It wasn't everybody doing it. It was just something I wanted. Now, as I grew up and I had this certain order I have, and I've had individuals ask me about why I dress a certain way, and I had somebody tell me it was a form of insecurity. And when he told me that, I didn't accept it. I still don't accept it. Because I could look at that young boy and understand there was nothing insecure about it. I just liked it. I desired to have a certain look, unique. Not that everyone else was doing it, but it was just something I wanted to do. Different things like that. And I'm still that way in my older age now. And if somebody misreads it and wants to look and say, why does he so-called dress up? It's got nothing to do with something missing inside of me. It has more to do that I want to be presentable to people, especially when I'm speaking in front of a group. I don't want to get too much into that, but it says something. Let's say you go hear a speaker somewhere, and it's not church, but it's just a speaker presenting, say, a financial plan or something. And he comes in, and he's got flip-flops on, and he's got a pair of shorts, like really short, now that are coming back in style, and he's got like a T-shirt, the neck's all worn and tore, like not ripped, but like it's not circular anymore, and the sleeves are all crawling up their arm. you're going to think, who's this guy? And I know a lot of people say, well, super wealthy people dress like that. Well, it's like, okay, but do you have to? You're standing in front of a group of people. You wear some nicer clothes, not to show off, but as a form of respect. Respect to the people. That's what that is. It's not so much holding yourself, oh, I'm way up here. It's like, no, I respect you so much. I'm gonna wear nicer clothes when I stand before you. But I had that order as a young boy. It had nothing to do with trauma, had nothing to do with drama, had nothing to do with insecurity. It wasn't even there. I can look back and see that. I can remember these different things. And even what some people call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, how about order? How about we're obsessive with order in a good way instead of disorder? I don't even like that term. I know I'm not talking about washing your hands 100 times before you eat. That's not what I mean. But that we have some structure, we have some order, that we don't have chaos, we don't have drama, and our steps are ordered, and we understand that it's not owning us, it helps us to succeed in front of us. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. Don't turn me off just yet. I encourage you to like or subscribe, I should say. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here. We appreciate it. The more of you that engage, the more people find it. It's an algorithm that works behind the scenes. So if you engage there, you subscribe, you like, you do something with that, more people find us. And if this blessed you, that you bless people you don't even know who they are. Because of you subscribing, you doing that, it allows other people to find us. Yes, that's how it works. If you would like to financially bless us, you can text 77977 New Creation AZ, New Creation AZ 77977. You can see different things on the screen, hopefully right now. There might be a QR code on there. You can connect with us. We have an app. You can follow us on that app. We will be back here in person, 1363 South Vineyard in Mesa, Arizona, 85210. We will be in person, 12 o'clock, worshiping the Lord live, delivering another message. It won't be this message. It'll be another message. If you would like to come join us, as I say, it's always 72 degrees in here. We thank you for joining us, and have a blessed Sunday.